Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, we are focusing on two events which are happening very close together. Actually, one of them already happened, but it's still relevant. These are the Lionsgate portal, which was on August 8th, as well as the solar eclipse in Leo, which is on August 12th. I'm not sure if this video is going to be up on the 11th or the 12th. It's the 11th right now as I'm starting to film it, but it will definitely be up by the 12th. However, the energy of both of these events will be felt beyond the exact dates. So even if you're watching this a little bit later, it is still relevant. This reading is for all signs. Everybody is going to be affected by and can benefit from these two events. However, if you do have Leo placements in your chart, then you may feel these particularly strongly. So first of all, Lionsgate. I do observe the Lionsgate portal day on August 8th. It's not really an astrological event per se. I think it's more numerological in nature because of the date being 8/8 and 8 being the number of abundance, prosperity. It's said to be a day that supercharges your manifestations. I have seen the theory that it represents the alignment of the sun and the earth and Sirius, but I don't think it actually does that. I don't think astrologically those heavenly bodies are actually aligned on this day. And if they did align, it wouldn't happen on the same calendar day every year anyways. So it's more of a symbolic thing. However, I still do think this day is powerful, even if just because so many of us in the collective believe in it and set intentions on this day. I think there is really something to be said about the power of collective belief and collective intention. And if many of us decide that this day is powerful, then it does become powerful. With that being said, I think that you can manifest on any day and you can be blessed on any day. As for the eclipse, we just had the South Node move into the sign of Leo and the North Node move into the sign of Aquarius. So for the next 18 months, the eclipses are going to be happening around these nodes. And this one that we have on August 12th is a solar eclipse. So the sun and the moon are both in Leo and they are aligned with the South Node. This is going to be happening in 20 degrees of Leo. And as many of you may know, as this eclipse is happening in the sign of Leo, we just had Jupiter enter into the sign of Leo, and it's going to be there for the next year. So a lot of this happened in succession. You know, we had Jupiter entering Leo on June 30th. Then we had the South Node entering Leo, I think it was on July 26, 27, somewhere around there. Then we had the Lionsgate portal on August 8th, and now we have this eclipse on August 12th. It's like bam, 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 bam. They're all happening one after another. And personally, I mean, it's still early in these transits, but I am enjoying the combination of Jupiter and the South Node in Leo. They are kind of contradicting energies because Jupiter magnifies and the South Node decreases. But the way I'm kind of seeing it is that it would ensure that Jupiter is kind of magnifying all of Leo energy, but the South Node helps to kind of drain out the shadow aspect of Leo energy. I think a good analogy for this is imagine that the Leo energy that we experience as a collective is a garden, and Jupiter just came and poured fertilizer over the entire garden. So all aspects of the Leo energy are growing, the more favorable ones and the less favorable ones. So maybe we have some beautiful flowers blooming up in this garden, and then we also have some weeds. This represents both the light aspect and the shadow aspect of Leo increasing. But I feel like the South Node being there as well is removing the weeds. So what we are left with is a heightening of the light aspect of Leo and a sort of draining of the shadow aspect. I think this is what we're going to be seeing largely in the next year or so. Basically, what we will be seeing is an increase of creativity, of self-expression, of letting yourself be visible, of letting yourself shine. But even amidst that, we will see a decrease of like doing things just for validation, attention-seeking behavior, egotistical or self-centered behavior. The South Node is going to be removing that so that what's left is the creativity, the passion, the joy, the radiance, the self-expression that was heightened by Jupiter. The way I see it is basically like Jupiter in Leo is putting the spotlight on you and is saying like, hey, be the main character, shine your light, speak your truth, be creative. Like you have this spotlight, you have this attention. And with that spotlight, I mean, there's still going to be people who do this. A more egotistical use of that spotlight would be to say like, hey, everybody, look at me. Like, look at how amazing I am. And have it be all about you. Yes, the energy here is look at me, look at the gifts I'm sharing, look at my talents, hear my message, but because that is my gift to you. That is what I can do for you. It really is about the other. When the spotlight is on you, it's not actually about you, is kind of what this transit is saying. It's about how you can inspire others, how you can uplift others, how you can improve someone else's life, how you can lift somebody's spirits and bring them joy. Like the spotlight is actually your catalyst to serve the collective rather than just what you can take from the eyes and ears that you have on you. And yes, there's still going to be some people who are just trying to take with their spotlight, but I don't think the South Node is going to let that gain a lot of traction. I think that the South Node in Leo is going to kind of make us collectively like side-eyeing that type of behavior. I actually spoke about this a little bit more I did like a whole North Node in Aquarius, South Node in Leo collective message. Maybe I'll link that down below if you haven't checked it out yet. I'll link the Jupiter in Leo one too, in case you haven't seen it. It's like collective messages plus pick a card readings for how it will affect you personally. But I do think with the South Node in Leo, we are going to see a huge decrease in maybe not celebrity culture as a whole, but like the era of people being famous just for being famous, I feel like is over, because collectively we're like, okay, you have a spotlight on you. How can you help the collective? What benefit are you actually bringing? Like if you're just wanting attention because you're a vibe or because you're hot or something, like it's not really going to resonate with us at this celestial point in time. Definitely with Jupiter in Leo, like we are going to see more like confidence and self-expression and creativity, but it's for the collective. It's for contributing something to the culture. It's like making art for the sake of art, not to like stroke your ego kind of vibes. The South Node represents decrease while the North Node represents increase. That's like very simplified, obviously, but that is more or less what these two opposite points represent. And when we have an eclipse on the South Node, it's said that this eclipse will highlight something that needs to be released. And this happening in the sign of Leo, a lot of us are going to be asked to release some aspect of our identity. I'm going to put up some keywords for each of the 12 houses here. So maybe you're already familiar with your birth chart. You know which house this eclipse is going to happen in for you. If you use whole sign astrology, you just need to know where Leo is in your birth chart because the whole sign of Leo would fit neatly into one house. But if you use Placidus, the sign of Leo could occupy multiple houses in your birth chart. So you would need to know exactly where 20 degrees of Leo falls in your birth chart. So once you find out which house this eclipse is happening in, these are a few keywords. Of course, this is quite simplified because houses can mean a lot of stuff, but these are some simplified keywords so you can see what things or what area of your life would be affected. And then I also made some reflection questions. Again, this is quite simplified. You may want to reflect on your own questions that you want to ponder at this time, but this is what came up for me when I sat with your energy. The overall theme of these questions is basically, who would I be authentically in this area of my life if I felt safe to drop the performance and I could just be me? And then whatever answers come up here, the final question is, what do I need to release in order to honor this? In order to honor my true identity and my true soul expression that's trying to come out right now? What may be in the way of that? What mask or what performance is in the way of that right now? I would definitely recommend reflecting on this for the house that the eclipse is happening in. But if you feel called to, you could definitely reflect on different questions that you see here. Whatever is bringing up an emotional response for you, whatever you feel pulled to, feel free to reflect on that. Obviously, you don't have to do this at all, but I just thought I would put these here in case it's helpful for you. For me personally, this is happening in my 5th house, which makes a lot of sense because that's where I've been seeing these themes coming up. One of the big themes of the 5th house is creativity. And it's funny, I had a performance on August 9th. So it was like right between the Lionsgate portal and the eclipse. I played a DJ set at a pretty big club in Tokyo, and I've played there a few times, but I really feel like the other night was the best so far, not just for my personal performance, but like as a whole, like the party that we all put on as the DJs and the organizers. It felt just like best vibes, the best turnout that I've personally seen. So yeah, we ate, I fear, but I practiced so much. I practiced so much for that performance because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to do a set that was a bit more busy, that was a bit more technically difficult. And that is exactly what I would do even if no one cared. Like when my set is over and I step back from the booths, no one is coming up to me going, wow, Kino, I really like what you did there. It was about 18 minutes into your set and you put that loop on. And then I really like how you cut the song in and out. And like, nobody cares. Nobody cares what the fuck I'm doing up there. They just care about the vibe. Are they dancing? Are they having fun? And yet, I still want to practice for hours because it is fun to me. It is fun to challenge myself. It is fun to do more complicated things. It is fun to push my stage fright to the limit because the chances of screwing up are higher. Like, I know that others do not care about that side of it, but I still show up to do it because it is so enjoyable for me and I'm passionate about music and they're dancing. They're here to dance. They're here to hang out with their friends. They're here to buy drinks. They're here to take selfies in the bathroom. They're here to let off steam. I'm here to just contribute to that vibe. So whatever effort I put into improving my skills and my performance, it's gotta be internally motivated. It's gotta be because I love it and I freaking do. Like I'm so emotional. By the way, if you want to see the set that I did, I recorded it. I like filmed myself doing it alone in the studio. But you'll see how much fun I'm having. Like, I love it so much, dude. So that's what motivates me. So I feel like this well, now we have Sun, Moon, Jupiter, and the South Node in Leo. And I feel like it's saying, yes, be creative. Yes, express yourself. Yes, shine your light. But not because it's all about you. It's about them. Shine your light to inspire others. Shine your light to uplift others. Shine your light to entertain others, to teach others. I think, of course, this message does need a bit of nuance, because not caring at all about external recognition and validation is kind of unrealistic. Like, we are humans, we are social creatures, and we want to feel like what we do matters and that we're appreciated. Like, that's very normal and fine. And I also think it's very normal to be disappointed or to be discouraged if, like, for example, you spent a lot of time and effort creating something and then you share it and it's like crickets. Like, yeah, I think it's normal for that to sting a little bit, but I think what this eclipse is saying is that, like, the desire for approval or to make someone else proud or to be validated by someone else, like, that is not enough to carry you through on your journey. Like, if you didn't receive that at the end of the day and it made you want to quit, maybe it's not the most authentic thing for you to be doing. So this eclipse might kind of expose things that you may be doing just for validation, which that's not like a morally bad thing, but it's certainly not helpful. So the eclipse may be just highlighting that, asking you like, hey, do we want to keep doing this? Is our heart really in this? Or are you just doing it like to make someone proud or to meet someone's expectations or to get applause from people? Because if that's why you're doing it, it's going to be a hard road ahead, because you can't control how other people react to what you're doing. Sometimes you're going to get the applause and sometimes you're not. And so if that's your metric of success, then your journey is going to be an emotional roller coaster and you could really get lost on your journey. Like, when you get applause, you could think, oh, you like that? Okay, then I'm going to do more of that. Without checking in, like, am I really passionate about this? Is this really what I want to do? Like, make sure what you're doing doesn't become a performance. Also, I made a note to mention this because I felt like it was a message for the collective. After that party, I got home, like, I was getting ready to go to bed, and the gold beaded bracelet that I had been wearing broke. It actually broke very cleanly. Like, it just kind of bloop and fell down rather than beads rolling everywhere. So I appreciate it for breaking neatly. Kind of sad because I really like that bracelet and I don't know, I'm sure I can fix it. But as soon as it broke, I immediately thought of this card in my Crystal Angels Oracle, gold. And it says, divine intervention, God sends miracles to answer sincere prayers. And I just felt like that's a message for the collective. Wishes that you make with pure intentions will be granted at this time. I feel like it's an auspicious year ahead. And then I also just wanted to take a card from this deck as well. We have no. Intuitively, I feel like there's something you can't take with you. This eclipse is about releasing something. That's a big part of it. There's an aspect of your identity that you can't take with you. And maybe it's a part of you, or a way of expressing yourself, a way of showing up that feels comfortable to you. For some of you, I'm hearing it's a habit. A habit when it comes to how you respond to others. A habit when it comes to setting or not setting boundaries. A habit when it comes to how you show up and how you present yourself. And it's something you know you need to break, but it's uncomfortable. Because I just heard this kind of exchange between you and your spiritual team where it's like, well, maybe I don't have to break this habit. Well, maybe I don't have to change this. And your guides are like, no. And I feel like you know this. You know this, but it's the part of your ego that wants to stay comfortable and doesn't want to admit that change is necessary is like bargaining, trying to bargain with your higher self. Like, no, I don't have to change that. I can keep this in my life. I can keep doing this. And your higher self is like, please. Your higher self is like, no, Ellen, that's not the truth. So yeah, you know this. You know there's something you need to let go, something you need to change, and you know it's going to be uncomfortable, and you need to stop bargaining with yourself to keep habits, to keep an identity, to keep a way of showing up that you know is holding you back. These transits are asking you to be big and to be visible and to shine your light. So this is not about like hiding yourself or humbling yourself or making yourself smaller. It's just knowing that you are putting yourself in the spotlight with the right intentions for the right reasons. And we are going to have to dare to go bigger, and we're also going to have to walk up to that stage by ourselves. No one's going to put us in the spotlight. No one's going to invite us on stage. If you're waiting for that permission, it's not coming. It's coming from you. I just saw this scenario in my mind's eye where you're like sitting in a meeting and the head of the meeting is like, okay, I think that's all. Does anybody have any questions or comments? And you have something to say, but you're not speaking up. And it's almost like you're waiting for the head of the meeting to say, and what about you, collective? Do you have something to say? Like if you are personally and repeatedly invited, then you will say something. There's a feeling of, I need more permission. I need more confirmation. I need more validation before I start expressing myself. If you're waiting for that, it's not coming. You tell us that you deserve to be heard. You tell us that you deserve to be seen. Because we're not going to drag you out of your shell. You have to come out by yourself, is basically what this message is. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the pick a card reading portion where we see more how these Leo events are going to be affecting you personally. In this reading, we're going to start off with an energy check to make sure that you have found your group. Then we're going to see around the time of this eclipse, what is being released, what is sparking for you, and what is it that you are called to do. We have 3 different oracle cards here. I will show you what each of them are. And then each group also comes with a crystal. I'm going to show you each of your options up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. For my group number 1s, we have this Fluorite, and your oracle card is the Crow with the number 27 and the keywords communication, transformation, story, universal law. For my group number 2s, we have this Aquamarine, and your oracle card is Air with the number 19 and the keywords thought, alignment, breath, intention. And for my group number 3s, we have this yellow Opal, and your oracle card is the orange-bellied parrot with the number 36 and the keywords radiance, expression, communication, acceleration. Kind of crazy that all 3 of these options have themes of communication. Like these 2 straight up say communication on them as a keyword, and then we have the element of air, which very much gives communication themes too. And they also all have bird themes. Like we have birds and a feather. That is very interesting. Anyway, here are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number one. Hi, number ones. So if you guys chose the Fluorite and the Crow card, this is going to be your reading. I just wanted to mention that before I started filming your reading, I saw multiple different signs popping up in different places, and they were all signs of my cat, who is on the other side. So if you chose this group, you may have an animal on the other side who is coming through to say hi and to send you some love. It did make me emotional when I saw them, but yeah, that might be your first little energy check for the group. But we're going to start by looking at these cards, and the intention that I set when pulling these cards was, what does group one need to know right now, or what information would they need to confirm that this is their group? So we have Divine Love. That's so cute because we're just talking about an animal on the other side sending you love. Maybe this group, okay, I just saw 111. So yeah, there are beings in the spiritual realm who are sending you love. Loved ones on the other side. We have Pink Amethyst and the Soul Star chakra. I'm not so familiar with the expanded chakra system, but I believe this one is said to be even higher up than your crown chakra, so it's kind of like floating above your head. And I feel like that's quite fitting for receiving energy from the spiritual realms. We have Shower of Abundance with the number 21. Okay, I'm thinking of the World card because of the number 21. I'm thinking of a blessing coming to you from the spiritual realm. Like loved ones on the other side are giving you a gift, which will come in the form of abundance or good luck in your life. I just saw something in my mind's eye that I have to share with you. This is like the second time recently that I'm going to use an analogy about cake. But I saw like you had just spent a lot of time and effort baking a cake. And now it's like the final moment of truth, because you have to like, you know, when you have an upside down cake and then you have to like put the plate and flip it over. And so this is like the moment of truth where you lift the cake pan and you're gonna see if it came out well. And it's like all of this time and effort that you put into it, and now is the final moment of truth to see if it worked. So if this is your group, you may be having a moment like this in your life where it's like the final verdict or the final moment where you see, is all the time and effort I poured into this gonna be worth it? And it's kind of like nerve-wracking. This is it. This is the big reveal. I also see some of you logging into some kind of portal to check the results of something, to see what the final verdict is, to see how you ranked in something. I'm also hearing that. To see if you got accepted. There could be some kind of big evaluation coming up. We have Attend with Core. This is related to the solar plexus chakra. So I do want you to know, if this is resonating with you, that whatever the outcome is, you should still be extremely proud of yourself, and your spiritual team is extremely proud of you. And whatever the result is, whatever the final outcome is, doesn't really determine your worth. And what you should really be proud of is not necessarily the final outcome, but everything leading up to it. because that's where your true capabilities were shown. That's where your true dedication was shown. That's where your true character was shown. That is what you need to be proud of. Well, you don't need to, but that is what you can be very proud of. And then for this final card, this tarot card, I wanted this to represent who is helping you on your journey and who may be speaking to you in this reading. So we have the 10 of Cups. You have many beings who love you very dearly, and they're clearly showing up in this reading. I'm seeing a large extended family. You could have a large family in the 3D, or you have a very big and diverse soul family. I'm hearing something about a vast network of souls who love you and are supporting you. And this includes like family members, the higher selves of family members, loved ones who are on the other side, your ancestors, as well as soul family members, some of whom you've met and some of whom you have not met. But there is a big network. There's a big network in the spirit realm, and you're all kind of moving together, and they're all supporting you. You are very, very loved. Okay, so hopefully by now you can tell if this is your group, if this is resonating with you. I want to pull a few tea leaf cards. And let's see what you can expect to happen around this Lionsgate portal and this eclipse. We have two cards that just came out at the same time. Interesting. The two cards that came out together are disappointment in some affair and happiness and well-being. And what I'm hearing with this is stop picking yourself apart, because whatever you're receiving from this journey, whatever it is that you're getting out of it, it is positive. It's a blessing. There are good things coming your way, and yet you seem to tend to focus on what you could have done better, to the point that you discredit everything that you did well. There are new doors opening for you. There are new opportunities. I feel very called to say, if you don't get an opportunity that you originally wanted, it was still meant to happen, because it's going to lead to a different opportunity or a better opportunity. Okay, so I'm kind of seeing a couple of different examples for this energy, but I'm going to use the example of a job interview. So let's say there's a job that you want, you go to the interview, and there's a question in the interview that you feel like your answer was so dumb, and it didn't accurately represent your strengths. I really fumbled that question, and you're beating yourself up for it. But at the end of the day, you still get the job. And yet your mind cannot let go of why did I answer the question like that? I should have done a better job. And it's like your spiritual team is saying, your energy is kind of wasted on beating yourself up and focusing on what didn't go well, in your subjective opinion, by the way, not objectively, because at the end of the day, you still received this blessing, and you answered all the other questions really well, and that's worth celebrating. So it's kind of like hanging on to that one thing that you're not satisfied with, when ultimately a positive thing happened. Another example that came to my mind is, let's say you go to that interview and you don't get the job, but when you're in the waiting room for that interview, you meet someone and they offer you a job that is even better. It pays more. It's something you would actually enjoy more. It's more convenient for you. It would open more doors for you. It's more like related to the field that you ultimately want to be in. Like in all ways, it's just a better job for you. But what you keep focusing on is, why did that interview reject me? Why did that interviewer not pick me? What was it about me that they didn't like? What was it about me that I was not good enough? And again, your spiritual team is saying like, well, your energy is wasted focusing on that, because at the end of the day, you'll never know. They have their own reasons, and that's none of our concern. And it doesn't say anything about your worth. And also, you got this even better opportunity. Like things worked out in the end, but it's like your brain keeps wanting to focus back on that initial rejection. So in both examples, it's like not being able to let go of this, what did I do wrong? Or how could I have messed that up? And you're losing sight of the fact that all around a very positive thing just happened. And good things are on the way. So yeah, that's why I feel this message of like, stop picking yourself apart. Let's get one more. Something you could be releasing during this eclipse is like that hypercritical part of your identity, which means that that critical part is not of the soul, it's of the ego. And so it is being drained out during this eclipse. Because it might seem like you're working on self-improvement and working on perfecting yourself, but really all you're doing is beating yourself up and creating less gratitude. You know, like, I'm just thinking of someone who's really critical of themselves, and it's like really coming from their ego. And I'm imagining now, as another example, like someone who's in a play and maybe they messed up one of their lines, but all around the play was a huge success. Like everybody performed really well. The like backstage crew did their stuff without a hitch. Everything went smoothly. The crowd loved it. Like probably nobody even noticed that you messed up your line. And then imagine after the show, like you're backstage and all you're talking about is, I messed up that line. I messed up that line. And it's like, it's time to celebrate with everybody. It's time to congratulate everybody. Like, what are you doing focusing on this one little thing that you did? Like it does, picking yourself apart can kind of put you in a self-absorbed state of mind rather than seeing the amazing event that you just executed together and how much everybody was shining and how well it went as a whole. Okay, let's get one more. We have vulture, depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. So something I think about a lot with vultures, and this makes so much sense in the context of your reading, is vultures like eat dead things. And so it often makes me think of like dwelling in the past. I don't really like this expression, but beating a dead horse. I don't know what's a nicer way to say that. I hate that expression. But yeah, like it's what's done is done, and you may be kind of beating yourself up for things that are inconsequential, and it's really stopping you from seeing blessings and positive outcomes that are around you. And so I think it's that aspect that is wanting to be released during this eclipse season. And look, when you have anxiety, you're gonna do that. So this is not like, and I really hope this is not coming across like I'm judging you and I'm being like, you need to stop doing that. That's bad. Because like, some of us are out here with anxiety and we are going to replay things in our head over and over and over again and pick apart the things that we did wrong. Our brain has a tendency to do that, and that's certainly not a moral failing. But also, we need to recognize that that pattern is not helpful, and it's really like taking us out of life and taking us out of all of the things and all of the people that we could be celebrating in the present moment. And so I think maybe it's like, finally, we all know that that voice isn't helpful. It tries to convince us that it is, but maybe around this eclipse time, that voice is finally getting the memo of like, oh, I really am not helping you, okay? And that inner critic is finally taking a step back. I'm also thinking with this theme, that liberation that comes with knowing that people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you may imagine. Like, anxiety likes to tell us, oh my gosh, everybody's thinking about my mistake and everybody's thinking about how much I suck at this and that. And it's like, they're thinking about themselves. Like, they're not thinking about you at all. And that's a good thing. Because it would be weird. Wouldn't it be weird if other people were sitting around and using their precious time going like, haha, like group 1 made a mistake 6 months ago. Like, that would be fucking weird of them. Like, focus on your own life. And they are. So there's nothing to worry about. No, like, people are not judging you as harshly as you may be judging yourself, but also you deserve to be free from that self-judgment. And I think what we're gonna see during this eclipse is your liberation from that self-judgment. So for our next 3 questions, what is being released? What is sparking for you? And what are you called to do? I'm gonna pull 1 tarot card and 1 oracle card each for those. What is being released? We have the 4 of Pentacles. What is sparking for you? We have the Ace of Swords. And what are you called to do? We have the 7 of Wands. Interesting, this is related to the 3rd decan of Leo, which is where this eclipse is happening. Some of you could have Capricorn or Aquarius placements as well. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing with the oracle cards. What is being released? Wow, that's crazy. So both of your cards here are Sun and Capricorn. The 4 of Pentacles is related to the Sun in Capricorn, and then we just pulled the Sun in Capricorn card. What a cool synchronicity. Shout out if you have Sun in Capricorn. Oh, and the keyword on here is achievement. What is sparking for you? We have devotion. With Saturn in Libra, which people born in the early 80s, I want to say, have Saturn in Libra. It's also, Saturn in Libra is related to the Three of Swords. And what are you called to do? We have publicity. It's crazy how these matched up. Like 2 Capricorn cards, 2 air cards, 2 Leo cards. Crazy. Yeah, this is publicity with Jupiter in Leo. That's related to the 6 of Wands. Wow. Okay. Let's get into it. I definitely think that what you are releasing is identifying with your achievements, or like basing your self-worth on what you've achieved. Because Capricorn energy is the high achiever, the ambitious person, the one who wants to build and have material and worldly success. The Sun is our identity, it's our self-esteem, it's our confidence. And you can even see on this 4 of Pentacles card, the person is holding on to the pentacles like they're cherishing them. Like, I'm worthy because I have you. It's like you're holding on to all of your achievements. And you're like, this is what makes me worthy. This is what makes me valuable. I think you're going to achieve many things during this season, but I don't think that any achievement is going to make you feel better about yourself. And that's a good thing, because you already have the self-esteem. Nothing could give you more of that because you already have it. Now, this is not me saying that you can't be proud of your achievements. I think you very much should be proud of the things that you achieve in this 3D physical plane. But I think that unconscious, subconscious sense of, oh, I am now more worthy because I achieved this thing. I am now more lovable because I achieved this thing. I now believe in myself and have higher self-esteem because I achieved this thing. And then the flip side of that, I feel less worthy because I didn't achieve this. I have lower self-esteem because I didn't achieve this. Like, that is going away. The link between achievements and self-esteem is going away. And you will be proud of yourself when you achieve things, but you will also be proud of yourself for showing up. You'll be proud of yourself for practicing. You'll be proud of yourself for improving, for taking risks. It's not just about, did I win or not? Was I chosen or not? Your spiritual team is saying, like, that's a very boring way of looking at things. It's like flattening yourself. Because at the end of the day, like, why do we want to give that much power to others? In the example of the job interview, like, do you care who the interviewer is? Do you know them? Do you care about them? Like, why are you giving this random person so much power to determine if you believe in yourself or not? If you're confident or not? Like, who are you in the grand scheme of things? You're just a person. I don't know anything about your preferences, your tastes, your intelligence. Like, you could have, maybe the interviewer picked a horrible candidate. We don't know. Maybe the people reviewing your art submission have awful taste. Maybe the contest is rigged. We don't know. Like, the thing is, at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know about these other people and what they're doing. So don't let them control your metrics of success. But you can be proud of yourself for creating something beautiful, for showing up to that interview, for speaking articulately, for presenting your strengths, for the improvements that you made during the training and the practicing and the studying. That you can take with you. That's meaningful. That's what is truly meaningful. The way you show up to invest in yourself and commit to yourself and improve yourself. That's what your spiritual team is really proud of you for. They are not any more proud of you if you like win something or get picked for something or get accepted into something versus if you don't. For what is sparking for you, we have the Ace of Swords and we have devotion. And there's two different things coming up for this. One is new ideas. New ideas are sparking for you. The other thing that was coming through is a desire to tell someone how you feel, which is going to be incredibly healing for you. You may get a moment of clarity about what it is that you want to say to someone or how you want to reach out to someone. You may get a brilliant idea about how to channel your emotions into writing, into a project, into creativity. It's an idea about the best way to get this emotion out of you. It's like you had this feeling stewing inside of you and you're like, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? And this is the light bulb moment of, oh, I should text this person and tell them XYZ. Oh, I should put this into a poem. I should put this into a song. I should post this online. I should call my friend and talk about it. It's like that epiphany of, oh, this is what I'm meant to do to get this emotion out. Or better way to say that is, this is where this emotion wants to travel to. Because that emotion that's stewing inside of your heart, it wants to travel. It wants to leave you and it wants to travel somewhere and it wants to reach someone. And you're seeing the path that it wants to take. You can speak to this emotion. It almost feels like a weight in your heart. Show me, this is making me emotional talking about it. Ask the emotion, show me where you want to go. Show me who you want to reach. Show me how you want to get there. And I promise that I will facilitate that. You don't have to walk around and continue to just hold this in your chest. It wants to be expressed. That's going to be really healing and really cathartic for you. You'll find out what to put that emotion into and make sure that it reaches the right person. And you'll feel so much lighter when you do that. You may also just feel really inspired to write during this time, whether that's journal entries, fictional stories, blog posts, poems, songs, like anything, messages to people. Just like sometimes I'm just in my notes app writing insights, and it goes on and on and on and on. You could just be writing a lot. Some of you could be staying up all night writing something or working on something, because I'm looking at this day and night duality. I'm gonna say that this bird is sleeping, that he's taking a nap. Waking, sleeping, day and night. You have ideas when you're awake. You have your ideas when you're asleep and dreaming. That channel is really open. You have a lot to say. What are you called to do? We have the Seven of Wands and we have publicity. So you are called to step into the spotlight in some way. You are called to, and I think you will. You're called to recognize that you deserve a spotlight, that you deserve a platform, that you deserve to take up space. I know that this is not something everybody wants, but if you have been wanting to build a platform, build a following, build a public presence of some kind, this eclipse is really going to help you do that. And it's going to help you release everything that is, like everything within you that is standing in the way of that. I really feel like this release of the inner critic and that part of you that ties your self-worth to achievements, the release of that is really, really going to help you on this journey. And this emotional unclogging, I don't like that word, but that's what it is. This emotional unclogging where your emotions can finally escape from inside of you and travel to where they want to. That's going to open a floodgate of you wanting to communicate how you feel and you wanting to speak your truth. And I think that's something that's really going to help propel you into the spotlight. And you're sharing your truth because you can't help it. You're expressing yourself because you can't help it. You're not expressing yourself because of what you think is going to get the most engagement or what you think is going to get the most applause. Like it's irrelevant. I can't help it, I'm hearing. I can't help but speak. I can't help but write. I can't help but sing. I can't help but document what I'm experiencing and what I'm living through. Like it's just pouring out of me. And I express it for the sake of expressing it. I express it because I owe it to that emotion, because I owe it to that idea, because I owe it to myself. And some things are going to be received well. Some things might not get a ton of traction, but at the end of the day, it's all propelling me forward. I'm hearing just keep churning them out. And I don't think that means that you're cutting corners or like trying to maximize your output. I think it means express the thing, close the loop, move on to the next thing. Express the thing, close the loop, move on to the next thing. Like just keep going, keep moving forward. Because there's a lot that wants to come out of you at this time. And it's a lot that others might need to hear. And the more you speak and the more you communicate and the more you express, and also I'm hearing the more you remove your filters, the more your spotlight is going to grow. The more your impact is going to grow. And you are being called, because this is what you're called to do. You are being called into publicity of some kind. And you may be called to defend your ideas as well. I'm hearing like I said what I said. So we're not going to be the person who, in the face of the slightest pushback, is like, okay, maybe I am wrong, I'm sorry. No, you said what you said because you felt it and you meant it. And your perspective is still valid even if someone else doesn't agree with it or doesn't see things exactly the same way. You said what you said. I don't know why I'm thinking of this right now. And maybe I've talked about this before, but something that really grinds my gears is like, there's so many people who don't understand musical keys. And like, you don't have to. But then don't be in the comment section so confidently wrong and clowning on people about musical keys when you yourself are wrong. Ugh. So anyway, one day I in a comment section corrected someone because they were saying that something was in a certain key and it most absolutely was not. And so I corrected them. And when I tell you, I was like having a panic attack just that I even commented this thing, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like they're gonna hate me and they're gonna be mad at me and I should just shut up. But it's like, I said what I said because it's true and because I'm right and because I deserve to say things. So yeah, I don't know. It just made me so, I don't know, something was triggered inside of me that made me afraid to speak up like that. And I actually even saw that yesterday where someone commented, "This is in the wrong key," and it got a ton of likes, and it was not in the wrong key. But like, and I had the urge to respond to them and be like, "What are you talking about? No, it's not." But I didn't because I was scared. But it's like, why not? Why not? I don't know. Maybe I need to take notes from this reading, but you may be fighting some like nervousness to speak your truth, even when you know you're right, and even when you know like what you have to say is valuable, just because you're afraid of the pushback. I really think like you are heading towards some big success, but you cannot be that person who like cowers at the slightest pushback or even just at the thought of pushback. The original poster never even responded to my comment, and I think I got like 2 likes on it, but I know I was right. I absolutely was. Anyway, so these are all of the messages for my group ones. You are being primed for something quite big, and so we're kind of speed running you facing your fears. We're kind of speed running you releasing your insecurities. Like, we don't have time. Like, the bus is leaving now. You can't take those with you. It's reminding me of the collective message in the intro. Like, no, we don't have time. Like, it's get on the bus or not. Get on the bus and leave your insecurities on the curb, or keep holding on to your insecurities and don't get on the bus. But we can't do both. Like, yeah, we're speed running. Man. Let's go, let's go. Okay, yeah, that's all the messages. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram, my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And I made a little DJ set if you wanna get down, if you wanna get hyped up, you can listen to it too. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 2s. So if you guys chose the Aquamarine and the Air card, this is going to be your reading all about the Lion's Gate portal and eclipse in Leo. So we are going to start with the energy check to make sure that this is your group. So my intention when I pulled these cards was, what does group 2 need to know? Or what information would they need in order to verify that this is their group? So we have transition with the number 13, calcite, and the moon. We have Sagittarius. We have meditate. And we have the Hanged Man. And actually, my intention for this card, the tarot card, was for it to represent someone who is helping you right now, and possibly who the messages in this reading could be coming from. And I definitely think that this Hanged Man is representing a version of you. You know what? Okay, there's a pretty specific energy coming through, so I think you'll know quickly if this is your group, if you don't already. This is your group if you are in a transitional phase of your life, and it feels like things are kind of up in the air right now. No, not it feels like, they are. Things are up in the air. You know you're going through a transition. Many of you have been actively planning for this transition, but you're just feeling kind of uneasy right now because there's multiple different components of this transition that are not locked in yet. There may even be some things where it's like, this needs to be locked in, but I can't lock in this thing yet because this other thing is not locked in. And this has to happen first, but I have to figure out this thing first. So it's like different moving parts to your transition that rely on each other. But if one of them gets delayed, then kind of all of them do because they need to happen in a certain sequence. And so, like, I think you know that this transition is happening, but it's just the way it's unfolding has maybe been kind of frustrating, and there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. I am taking the air card as things being up in the air, and then, you know, the butterfly represents the transition, but the Hanged Man feels more like a cocoon energy. So the way I'm reading this is like, you know that your transformation into a butterfly is secured. You know that you're not going to be in this cocoon forever, but you know it's getting a little uncomfortable in here. It's like the energy of when you're on a road trip and you know you're going to make it to your destination, but you're getting kind of uncomfortable sitting in the seat. Like it's cramped and your butt hurts and you're like, are we there yet? It's kind of like this uncomfortable transition. And it's like, can things just get locked in so that I can start making decisions and I can start with the next stage of planning and I can just move forward? Like maybe something did get delayed or there's just been a lot of back and forth and you know, you're grateful that this transition is happening, but man, is the process kind of a headache. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about all of this energy. For some of you with the Sagittarius energy, the transition could involve traveling. It could involve your academic pursuits. Or if I take this literally, you could have Sagittarius placements. I did kind of wonder if some of you have the moon in Sagittarius because we have the moon here. Some of you could have Neptune in Sagittarius. I don't know off the top of my head what years those are. But yeah, you'll know if that's in your birth chart. And because this eclipse is happening in 20 degrees Leo, if you do happen to have any placements between 15 and 25 degrees of Sagittarius, then the eclipse is going to be forming a trine with those Sag placements, which could be quite auspicious for you. And I would also say this is your group if you have been meditating or if it's really been heavy on your mind, like I need to stay mindful because I know that this phase is not going to last forever. And so I don't need to worry. And I'm trying to just be mindful and enjoy my day to day and trying to stay calm even when things are up in the air. Like I'm trying to stay grounded and just trust the process. Like everything's going to be okay. You maybe have been needing to just take more measures to ensure that you are calm and grounded every day. Especially with the moon here, you could find that your emotions have been quite up and down during this process. And so you just need some extra grounding practices. This card could also just be advice to meditate. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing for your energy. So if that sounds like you, then you have probably found your group. Let's pull some tea leaf cards. You could also have Pisces placements with this Hanged Man, or maybe you have significant 12th house placements. Some of you could have Moon in Pisces, Jupiter in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces. No, wait, that would be, I feel like you'd be super young if you had Neptune in Pisces. Maybe you have a child who has Neptune in Pisces, or maybe I'm just getting old. Anyway, okay. We have Grasshopper, situations in the balance that require careful handling. That makes a lot of sense. Speaking of requiring careful handling, I almost dropped this deck. Some of you could have to be thinking about the logistics of things, like maybe you are packing things up, or you're having things shipped, or you are moving things from one place to another. And then we have Camel, who's literally transporting something on their back. But yeah, like some of you could be moving. Persevere and you will overcome problems. It's interesting too, if you did have Sag placements, then the Leo eclipse would be happening like in the 9th house from your Sag placement, if that makes sense. So yeah, travel, relocation, moving could definitely be a theme here. We have mountain road, like there's transporting, there's a road. You are on the road to success. And then we have Rooster. Shout out to my Year of the Rooster people. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. Who is that? I want to clarify who that is, but what deck should I use? I'll just use the tarot deck we're going to use. Oh, you know what this could be for some of you? Okay. Yeah. We spoke about, and I'm assuming this resonates with you because like we went through the energy check. We spoke about like there's various different things that need to be like locked in and decided. And they might kind of depend on each other. Like the decision I make here depends on what gets decided over here. And you maybe are waiting for someone, waiting for an answer from someone, waiting for a decision from someone, but you're being very cautious about following up with them. Maybe someone already kind of gave you, like snapped at you or something. Okay, so an example that I'm thinking of is like, let's say you need to hear from someone about what day they're going to be able to do something. And they said they would get back to you, and it's been like 2 weeks and you haven't heard from them. And so you follow up like, hey, I was just wondering, could you let me know what day you're gonna do this? And they like snap back at you like, I'm busy right now. I told you I'd let you know. And you're like, okay, shit. Like, but you need to know, like you need an answer. So it's like, do I keep following up with them or do I just leave them? But then if I leave them, they're never gonna get back to me. So it's like, it's a delicate situation. Situations in the balance that require careful handling. It feels like for at least one component of this transition, you could be waiting on someone. And I don't know, maybe you have to, maybe it's reaching a point where you're like, I might have to just make plans elsewhere. I might just have to make plans with someone else. Like, cause I can't wait forever. Like I gotta get going with my transition. And maybe like you're trying to be compassionate and understanding, but you also can't put your life on hold forever or put this process on hold forever. So yeah, that could be kind of a tricky situation. Okay, let's pull some tarot and oracle cards for you. So we're gonna answer the 3 questions. What is being released? What is sparking for you? And what are you called to do at this time? So what is being released? We have the Ace of Pentacles. What is sparking for you? We have the Seven of Cups. And what are you called to do? We have the Two of Swords. So I'm gonna do the Oracle cards now for the same questions. What is being released? Restlessness with Mercury in Aries. Shout out if you have a Taurus Sun and Aries Mercury, that would be cool. They're both number 1, interestingly. What is sparking for you? We have, ooh, Fortune and Negotiation. That sounds good. I might need to cover these boobs. I don't really think so because they're so tiny, but just in case. Okay, yeah, Fortune with the Sun in Leo and Negotiation with Jupiter in Libra. And what are you called to do? How many is that? I mean, we could take all of them. There's 4. I'm just gonna go for it. We have Charity with Saturn in Cancer, Quarrel with Mars in Cancer. They're both number 4s. Mars is actually in Cancer right now, I think, or it's about to enter Cancer. We have Originality with Mercury in Aquarius. And we have Patience with Jupiter in Virgo. Okay. I do think things are going to turn out well. Like with Fortune and Negotiation, this definitely seems like a back and forth with another party is going to end up favorably. And that's going to resolve this feeling of things being up in the air. I do feel called here to say kind of, I don't know if you would call this a warning message or just advice to not lock into anything prematurely or lock into something just because the feeling of uncertainty is getting uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Like that feeling of, I just want something to be secured. I just want something to be locked in. So I'm gonna go with this. I think it's important to not make the decision from that place because you can get a result that is really beneficial if you can find comfort in the discomfort or comfort in the uncertainty for just a little bit longer. This is going to require your discernment because, again, I know that you can't wait forever. You can't hold out for something to come in forever. And like, you have to do what you have to do to secure your security. Well, to create security in your life. But I think if you are able, if it's just a matter of, I don't like when things are up in the air, if you can sit in that discomfort for a little bit longer, I think that the final outcome could be very favorable. We do have restlessness here and we do have patience here. So, you know, there could be a feeling of like, oh, I just want to get this over with. Okay, a really weird example is coming to my mind, but you know how we were talking about the road trip example where you're sitting in the seat and you're getting uncomfortable and like you just want to get there. Oh wait, I thought of an example that's better. I was gonna say, it's like, imagine you really have to go to the bathroom and you're like, no, I can't wait anymore. Let's just go to the next rest stop we see. But then the next rest stop is like really dirty and gross. Whereas like, if you could just hold it for another like 10 minutes, you could go to a very, very nice rest stop. And like, only you can make that call at the end of the day, right? Like I don't have your bladder. I don't know how bad it is, right? Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I feel, I told you it's a weird example, but it's like, if you can sit in that discomfort just a little bit longer, you could get a much better result. And then the less weird example that then came to me after is like, if you're like, oh man, I'm getting really uncomfortable sitting in this car. Let's just stay at the next motel we see. And then maybe the next one you see is again dirty and gross and not very nice. And it's like, I know you're in discomfort, but if you just drive a little bit further, there's a really, really nice and reasonably priced place that you could stay at. So, you know, only you can decide what the limit of your discomfort is. And that's not like, it's not my place to tell you that or anybody's place to tell you that. But I think here it's just like a gentle stretching, like just a little bit more. And I often find, for me personally, like if I know that the end is in sight, if I know that it's just a little bit longer, then I can sit with the discomfort versus like, if I think I'm going to be in the discomfort indefinitely, then it's a lot harder to be patient. So I think your guys are trying to say like, this yucky feeling of like things are up in the air and things aren't coming together, that's not going to last for much longer. And if you can sit with that a little bit longer, like everything's going to turn out great. Like maybe a really good opportunity is going to come in, or a really good agreement is going to be reached, or you're going to find a really good option to lock into. It's going to be okay. For some reason, I just thought some of you are finding your dream apartment if you just wait a little bit longer. And that's super specific, but like, I don't know, finding really good accommodations or getting into a really good deal, a really good contract with another party. Contracts are gonna work in your favor, negotiations are gonna work in your favor. It's important to not make decisions from a place of, I just want to get this over with. Like that's what I'm feeling with this restlessness energy. And this is what is being released, the restlessness. With the Ace of Pentacles as what is being released, I actually thought of this as money you spend coming back to you. So you could be incurring some expenses during this time or making an investment during this time, but it is going to be very, very worth it. And money you spend will come back to you multiplied. I know that you're making this transition to live a more authentic life and to secure a more abundant life for yourself. And I want to tell you that I'm proud of you for making these changes. And I think the next era of your life is going to be really exciting. And this uncomfortable transition period that you're in now, like, not to minimize it, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be just a drop in the bucket compared to the long and fruitful next era that you're about to experience. Like a year from now, a lot of the frustrations of this time will be forgotten, and you'll just be thinking about what an amazing year it's been. Like, I'm so happy I did this. I'm so happy I made these changes. Your spiritual team is really excited about the changes that you're making. And just know that every little thing is going to lock in the right way at the right time. Discomfort is temporary, but the blessings that you will reap from what you're securing right now, those are much more long-term. And it's very worth it. Very much so. What are you called to do? We have the Two of Swords. You're called to make a decision. So you may actually be securing multiple options for yourself, and you can pick the one that is best for you. I think it's really important that you choose with your gut and you make the choice for yourself. I forget what we have here. We have charity, quarrel, originality, and patience. I know we have quarrel here, but the vibe that I was getting from this fortune and negotiation is that two sides are going to come to an agreement. So there may be some disagreements at first and some back and forth, but it will result in a favorable agreement in the end. I feel like another party could be, okay, I just heard something like you may have to fight for it a little bit, but you can get some extras or something bonus thrown in for you. Like maybe you're getting a discount, or maybe you're getting something for free, or you're getting something extra in your end of the deal. With originality here, Mercury in Aquarius, you could be asked to kind of think outside of the box. Okay. There's obviously, and I'm even thinking about the examples that were coming to my mind. The gross bathroom versus the nice bathroom. The shitty motel versus the nice one. Like there seems to be an obvious option that you would genuinely prefer. But for some reason, maybe you feel like that's not going to be possible to get your top choice. But with a little bit of thinking outside the box, I just heard like with a bit of finessing, you can negotiate to get your top choice. Or you can suggest a new proposal to make things work in your favor. And I feel like when all is said and done, you're gonna get what you want and a little bit extra. So again, like you may need to fight for it a little bit, and you may need to think outside of the box a little bit and propose something new. Like, well, what if we did this? Then could I get the option that I want? Like, would you be willing to make an exception so that I can get my top choice? Like, you may need to do a little bit of that and like make your case. You know, if you just, and group one got this message too. Like, if you're gonna give up at the first sign of pushback, then maybe things are not gonna work out. But if you're a little bit creative, if you think about other ways we could make this work, well, what about this? Then you can get your top choice plus more. So go, if I could just tell you what to do for a second, like, please hold on to the option you know you want deep down. Because where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a thinking outside of the box, where there's a crafty mindset, you can figure something out. You can make it work. And you can negotiate something. I think what this eclipse may be trying to teach you is how to overcome your own feelings of frustration or discomfort, to not give up in the face of those emotions, and to secure what it is that you truly want. If you handle relationships or handle exchanges well, you can bring about a win-win situation. And sometimes, like if you're experiencing frustration in a negotiation or in any kind of exchange with another party, you may think that your options are just to like fight the other party or give up. But there's a third option of thinking outside of the box and proposing something new, is what I'm hearing. I'm sorry if that's a bit vague, but it's like if you can remove yourself from those. When I say lower level, I don't mean like, I don't mean it in a bad way, but the lower level, like primal emotions of frustration, if you can remove yourself from those and kind of look at the situation from a bird's eye view and see other avenues you can take, you can still get to where you want to go. I'm excited for you, group 2, and I know, like, sitting with the energy of these cards, I know this could maybe be a stressful time, but I also know that you know your transformation is secured, your new era is secured, and that this stage is not going to last forever, and that it's going to be very worth it because you're setting yourself up for a long and prosperous new era, like really a whole new life for some of you. And I keep wanting to say, like, I'm proud of you that you chose this for yourself, that you chose to make a change, that you chose to like challenge yourself to take a new path in life. And I feel like it is really, really going to reward you. So that's everything I'm seeing for you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram, my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below. And I did post a DJ set the other day, so if you wanted to party with me, get hyped up, you can check that out. But thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, everyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the yellow opal and the orange bellied parrot card, this is going to be your reading all about the Lionsgate portal and the eclipse in Leo. So we're gonna start off with an energy check. Right now, I am very satisfied that your oracle card has all of the colors of these cards in it, and it's looking very aesthetically appealing together. But anyway, my intention when I pulled these cards was to receive any message that you need to know right now, or any information that you would need to verify that this is your group. So let's get into it. We have healing with the number 33, spirit quartz and Chiron. We have magic wand. We have scent, 111, as I'm holding up the scent card. And we have the Page of Wands. So for this tarot card, my intention for this tarot card was to represent someone who is currently helping you and could be coming through in this reading. And the first feeling that I'm getting with the Page of Wands is that this is likely your inner child, but it could also be like the higher self of your child, whether they are currently incarnated or maybe it's like your future child's higher self, like their spirit coming through. But yeah, there's definitely a childlike energy to this Page of Wands. Very cute little mouse. And then also I want to mention that music could be significant because I have a crystal oracle deck where the keyword for spirit quartz is music. And so when I see spirit quartz, I always think of that. So music could just be really important to you, or maybe you are a musician. Magic Wand also feels very creative because it's reminding me of the Ace of Wands. So, and you have the number 33 too. And the Page of Wands is creative as well. Okay, if this is your group, I feel like you would identify as a creative person or even an artist. This is your group if you are currently actually healing your creative side. So maybe you are removing blocks that stopped you from creating, or removing blocks that stopped you from expressing yourself authentically in your creative practices. Removing blocks that stopped you from sharing your work or feeling like your work was valuable, or trusting in your creative instincts. I'm also hearing removing blocks that would prevent you from starting projects or finishing projects or getting into the flow when you are working on a project. Like just kind of healing your relationship with creativity, or like your ability to access your creativity. That's coming through very strongly, and that honestly makes a lot of sense with this transit being in the sign of Leo, that like a very Leo-like theme is coming up. Even the theme of the inner child feels very Leo-like. I wonder if many of you who chose this group do have significant Leo placements. But also, I feel like this message has been coming up in readings a lot for the past while, which is a message about getting your spark back, or like getting your zest for life back. Definitely let me know if this message has been following you around, whether that's in readings that I do, or readings that you've done for yourself, or like other readings that you've watched. I just feel like that theme is coming back quite a bit. And I love it. Okay, there's like this sweet energy from a past era of your life that maybe you felt like was over and gone and you couldn't get it back, but it is actually coming back. Because scent made me think of how scent is attached to memory, and it can be a very nostalgic thing. And something about it just felt very sweet. Like with healing and with Magic Wand, it's like this energy that you lost, you're finding it again. And it was never actually gone. It was just covered up. Like some of you maybe felt like, I lost my magic. Like your magician archetype was wounded or blocked or disappeared or something. Maybe you were experiencing kind of a creative rut, or just not feeling very motivated in general. And there's this life force, this vitality that is coming back for you. At the time, well, this isn't really a timeless reading, but it's summer right now in the Northern Hemisphere. It's winter in the Southern Hemisphere. But your energy feels very spring. Like in the journey of your life, I feel like you're entering into a spring season. And so if this is your group, you can probably feel that. You feel kind of like the snow is starting to melt, so to speak. Very nice. Let's pull some tea leaf cards and see what is going on for you during this transit. Yeah, we mentioned Leo placements. I would bet that a lot of my group 3s have significant fire placements. So you could have Aries or Sag placements as well. Wow, we have lighthearted, carefree time. That fits very well. Maybe something that was blocking you from creativity was taking it too seriously. Whether that was just you by yourself taking it seriously, or someone around you was taking it very seriously and that rubbed off on you, or you had to match their seriousness, you had to match their heaviness about it. And I'm hearing like it's very hard to be creative under pressure, because creativity needs space to breathe, it needs freedom, it needs to be allowed to make mistakes. It needs to be allowed to like try and fail and make something that's not very pleasing and change it and improve on it. It needs permission to not be linear. Like when you put too many constraints, of course, it kills creativity. So I think if there's something in you where it's like you take yourself very seriously, or set, I want to be careful with this message because I was going to say a part of you that sets very high standards for yourself is going to be released. But I don't think that's exactly what it is, because there's nothing wrong with setting high standards for yourself. Like if you know that you're capable of, that's what it is. You know that you're capable of creating amazing things or producing a high standard of work. But there's a difference between knowing you can do that and expecting yourself to do it every single time or else. Like, I'm just imagining very prolific artists, you know, they are celebrated and loved because they've made a few really great things and have probably also made a lot of bad things, but like they have to be allowed because that's how you get to the good stuff. And if you take every single thing you try so seriously, you're gonna kill the opportunity for learning and discovery and creativity before it can even happen. So yes, if there is a part of you that takes yourself too seriously or feels like I must make my best work every single time, I must reach my full potential every single time, I must make something good and perfect every single time. Like if there's something in you like that, that is going to be released. I think you're giving yourself permission to suck. That is our birthright as a human, to suck at stuff and to make things that are not very good and to make mistakes. And that is actually no indication of our potential and our talent. That's just what it is. We're humans. And giving yourself permission to do that. And what else was I going to say? Oh, that if you are in an environment that requires you to be like high pressure and taking things very, very seriously, you might be leaving that environment, or that environment might be leaving you, because I feel like the next era for you is going to be, like this card says, a lot more lighthearted, a lot more carefree. We have Stork, news of a birth or a new business opportunity. That's very auspicious. Stork feels very promising for the long-term future. I think it's interesting we were talking about a child and now we have this message of birth. You definitely do not have to claim that for yourself. But I mean, Leo energy, fifth house energy, that can talk about children. So if that's something you've been wanting, this could be quite the auspicious message with the page and the stork. And wow, we have 4-leaf clover, great good fortune. My goodness, life is gonna feel quite magical with this 4-leaf clover and this magic wand. I think a prayer is being answered. Wow. Okay, is there anything else I want to say? Yeah, if you don't resonate with the birth of a person into your life, then I would claim this other interpretation, which is a new business opportunity. Some of you may have a belief or just a notion that if you turn your passion into work, then it's not going to be fun anymore and that it will like suck the passion out of it. And that can certainly be the case depending on the expectations and the pressure that is placed on you, depending on the environment you're in, depending on who you're doing it with. Like that, it can definitely turn out that way, but it doesn't have to. And so I think the universe is showing you an experience where you have the ability to turn your passion into work, but it doesn't have to suck, basically. Okay, so we're gonna answer 3 questions now. What is being released? What is sparking for you? And what are you called to do at this time? And I'm gonna pull 1 tarot card and 1 oracle card each for these questions. I just wanna say too, like some of you guys might know this, but this tea leaf deck is very 50-50 for like positive messages and negative messages. And so to have 3 cards that are positive is kind of crazy. Okay, what is being released at this time? The 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. Some of you could be quitting your job. Take that as a confirmation if you've been wanting to do that or thinking about doing that. Or something that made your job suck or something that made your workplace suck is exiting. Whether that has to do with like the environment or like socially, like human relationships, something going on there that just made the environment not nice, or an expectation that was placed on you, a responsibility that was placed on you that just made things really hard and stressful. Basically, whatever has been stressing you out at work is going away. Maybe for some of you, even the stress was not being able to find work. So, I mean, this could be a lot of different things. I just think it's work-related stresses. So, like a lack of job opportunities, that stress is going away. Not being able to make good money from your work, that stress is going away. Something or someone at your work that was creating stress, it's going away. Maybe some of you, you're like, I'm gonna throw the whole job away. If that's you, you can definitely take this as a confirmation of that. Woo! Okay. What is sparking for you? We have the Ace of Cups and we have the Hanged Man. That message about quitting, I mean, that could definitely be for some of you, and you have to take what resonates, but I do feel like there could be a lot of you who it's like, if you're thinking of quitting something, but you just hang in there a bit, the situation could improve a lot. But you will have to use your discernment for that one, because I can't tell you to stay in a situation that is like toxic or that you really, really want to leave. But if you're kind of on the fence and you're like, I think I'm gonna leave because I really don't like this aspect of my job or my workplace, you might actually see that aspect that you don't like is leaving or it's changing, and then things can be good again. So I would wait like a little bit longer to see if the situation changes, if you feel comfortable doing that, of course. But the reason I say that is because the message that came through here, and that is actually making me really emotional when I sit with it, is like, what's sparking is a happiness, a spark of joy that makes you want to stay, that makes you want to stick around. And what are you being called to do? we have the Eight of Cups. So something has to be left behind. Some of you could be transitioning to self-employment or like just doing something with more freedom. I also just heard something about new management. That's not going to be for everyone, but like maybe, for example, you're an employee at a company and new management is coming in and they're much better, they're much nicer. If you resonate with the message of children, you could be going on parental leave soon. Okay. Woo. To clarify the Three of Pentacles, we have drama. Oh, I like that because this is what is being released. So some kind of like workplace drama seems like is coming to an end. And we were talking about this in the intro about how the South Node in Leo and this eclipse too is draining out an egotistical energy. And I actually think for this group, you might see that happening in someone else. Like you see someone around you is getting humbled, or an egotistical person is leaving your orbit. Something or someone that was causing drama is leaving. But I do think, you know, if we're talking about an energy that's leaving you, I'm thinking back to that message of taking yourself very seriously. And that could be a part of your ego that is quite, like, that's being dramatic. Like, I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but when you think about it, this way of thinking, like, I must prove myself to be the best of the best, and everything I do must be perfect all the time, and I must do something very, very excellent and high quality all the time, otherwise I suck. Like, that is a very dramatic, like, it's an exaggerated way of thinking. Let's clarify the Ace of Cups and the Hanged Man. What is sparking? We have resourcefulness, Sun in Cancer. I am noticing that all three of these cards are water. So I definitely think that what is emerging for you is an emotion. And I mean, it is. It's happiness, it's joy, it's fulfillment. And there is a common theme of a bird perched atop a vessel. That's like really specific imagery, but that could be, oh my gosh, wait, that's spooky. Okay, look, we have the dove and the cup. Then we have the crow and this jug thing. And then we have the stork and the jug. I don't know what that's all about. Let me know if you've seen that imagery before. Or maybe you're gonna start to see it moving forward. But some kind of bird and some kind of vessel or container that imagery came through 3 times. And a vessel pouring out or overflowing is also significant. We see the cup overflowing here. And then this resourcefulness, the idea is that the crow drops stones into the jug until the water spills out, I'm pretty sure. So, oh, that's a really sweet message, because I feel like group 3, I feel like you've never given up on yourself. And even when you were in an emotionally darker place, I feel like you didn't give up on caring for yourself, like continuing to take care of yourself, even when you weren't seeing results. And I'm thinking of a lot of 6th house stuff right now, like things around routine and habits. So, you know, people will say like, oh, if you, I don't know, if you wake up early and you get a good night's sleep and you do your skincare routine and you get some sunlight, and if you drink water, and if you, I don't know, eat this food, like you will feel better if you do all these things. Like it will boost your mental health, it will boost your happiness, it will boost your mood. Like there's all of these, you know, little daily habits and routines that we can build to help promote our happiness and well-being and stuff. And I feel like there was a period where you were doing all of those things that you knew were good for you, that you knew were like taking care of you, but it wasn't making you feel better. But you continued to show up and take care of yourself. And it's like, finally you've dropped enough stones into the jug that the water is starting to pour out. So, you know, it's not like you practiced self-care a couple times and then everything miraculously changed. But I feel like through consistency and through not giving up on yourself, you're finally starting to feel like the tides are shifting inside of you, and like you're starting to feel better. It feels like a dark cloud has cleared, and it's really just happiness that is sparking. And this feeling that your efforts to keep showing up for yourself are paying off. We have the sun in Cancer here, which is like, you know, the textbook definition of Cancer energy is like nurturing, caring. And I feel like that's an energy that you've had towards yourself. And you're really seeing the results of that now. And yeah, there's a lot of water here. So I think this is a very emotionally fulfilling time. Also, something that just came through is that throughout this whole journey, you never tried to change other people. It's like, I don't know how to say that, but rather than pouring your energy into trying to change someone else, it feels like you would always bring the focus back to yourself. Like, what can I control? What can I change? What might this experience be trying to teach me? Like self-focused, which means you're pouring your energy into the right place. So drama is leaving, happiness is sparking. And what are you called to do? So we have the 8 of Cups. Something needs to be walked away from. I'm tasting, so what I'm tasting right now is definitely barley tea, like cold barley tea, which is a very refreshing summertime drink. I don't know if it's literally that is significant for you. I think it's more the hydration and refreshing aspect of it. So if it's hot where you are, make sure you have some hydration, make sure that you're staying cool. And that feels like a broader message of caring for your body. Let's clarify this Eight of Cups. Eccentricity, a card that said eccentricity just flipped over, but it didn't come out. I will keep that in mind though. Maybe you're being called to be eccentric. You're being called to be weird. You're being called to experiment. Your favorite art, whether that's your favorite music or your favorite book or your favorite movies or your favorite paintings, probably didn't come about because someone was trying to check off every single box perfectly. Probably came about because someone was willing to take risks, because someone was willing to do something kind of unusual, because someone was willing to risk embarrassing themselves or looking cringe or falling on their face, figuratively. Give yourself permission to experiment and be weird and do weird things. Also, like, a lot of, whether I'm like producing music or making a DJ mix, like, some of the stuff that ends up in there is stuff that I did by accident. So mistakes are not always a bad thing. Like, going off the plan is not always a bad thing. And I mean, it sounds common sense when I say it, but if you're if you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to do everything exactly in the lines, it's stifling the magic. Remember that your creations are not just yours. You're co-creating with the divine. You're co-creating with the collective. So there is more than just your expectation and your agenda at play. I'm even thinking, like, sometimes when I do readings, there will be a message that I'm like, I really don't like the way I said that, or like, that message was dumb. I should cut that out. But then someone will comment that that is exactly what they needed to hear. And the point is that it's not about me, you know? It's not about like how I want the message to come out exactly. It's about who needs the message. And it's the same thing with your work and your creativity. Like, yes, you have your vision of what you want it to be, but you can't deem something a mistake because you don't have enough knowledge to do that. Because your creation is divine and it's for other people too. And you don't know, like, what someone might need from it or what it wants to be in the world. You can't see the full picture of that. And so maybe there's a bit of, if we're talking about like a humbling energy, when you are working on something or creating something or putting something out into the world, I think you're called to recognize, like, this doesn't just belong to me. I'm not the sole creator of this. I'm not the sole visionary of this. It doesn't exist just for me. I am the vessel for it, but this idea, this project has its own consciousness, has its own direction, has its own purpose, and the collective who will receive it needs specific things from it, and I might not be aware of all of that, so I can't really say, like, this was meant to happen, this was not meant to happen, this is wrong. And it's not when I'm working on something or making something, I'm not testing my potential or testing my abilities. It's like, it's something so much greater than that. I'm like, you're birthing something, you're channeling something, and however it comes out is how it was meant to come out. What? What? That scared me, dude. Wait, I might need to cover the boobs. It's probably fine, but did you see that group 3? So to recap, when I was shuffling, this eccentricity card flipped over, but it like flipped over so quickly that I just kept shuffling and it disappeared back into the deck. But I made a note that I saw that card flip over and then kept shuffling. And what came out was the eccentricity card. So that might actually be like a foreshadowing for you where, okay, you're like reuniting with something or someone or someplace, but something that you thought had slipped away. So like, really easy example. Let's say you're walking down the street and you cross paths with the most beautiful person you've ever seen, but you just see them for a split second. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that person was so beautiful. I think I love them, but now they're gone. I'm never gonna see them again. And then, I don't know, like a year later, you meet them again. It's like, it's just mind blowing. Like I thought you were just like this fleeting thing and gone, and now you're back. Like if something's meant to come back, it's gonna come back. Also, for some reason, I'm thinking of someone who dropped something in the ocean and they found it. Like imagine you, and I'm not predicting this for you, okay? This is just an example, but imagine you like dropped your favorite ring in the ocean. It's like, how the heck are you gonna find that? But then you go with a snorkel and you're like looking and you actually find it. There's something that you're like, there's no way I'm gonna find this again. Could even be like you heard a song and you're like, oh my God, this is the best song I've ever heard, but I don't know what it's called and I don't know who is by, and like I can't look it up. I've lost that song forever. And then one day you're browsing on YouTube and you click on a thing and it's that song. It's back. If it's meant to come back, it's gonna come back. And probably not when you're like, probably not when you're trying to make it come back. Or you just don't expect that. Maybe you tried something to make it come back, but you're like, this is not actually gonna work. Some of you could be recovering files that you thought were gone forever. But yeah, there's a recovery of something or a reunion of some kind that just seems like against all odds. Which I realize now that whole message had nothing to do with what are you called to do. It was just a foreshadowing, like a little prediction. But I think that you are called to embrace your eccentricity. That's the fastest way to find your people. If you put on a fake persona, you're going to attract people who resonate with that fake persona and who expect you to keep showing up as that fake persona. So adopting certain behaviors or mannerisms for acceptance is really just going to be exhausting at the end of the day. So, and maybe that's also a foreshadowing of entering into a more lighthearted era of your life where you don't need to mask and you don't need to like pretend to be more quote unquote normal or in the box. That you can just let your weirdness out. Maybe there was like some kind of influence that was, it's like a very dramatic person or organization that was very dramatic about like making people fit into a certain box. And that like if you slightly deviated from it, it's like the end of the world. when it really, like, the box is fake. It's like someone's idea of a box that you need to fit into, but it's so arbitrary and yet they're so dramatic about it. I don't know. What I do know is that you are finding yourself in an environment where it's okay to be yourself. Yeah. And I'm sure, like, if I'm reading this energy accurately, like, there's been emotional ups and downs, but I do also see, like, you've been consistent, like, whether you're feeling good or feeling like shit, it seems like you show up anyway. And that consistency is paying off. Lovely. Okay, I think those are all the messages for my group 3s, so I'm going to end the reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my Instagram, my music channel, which includes the intro song of this video, that is an original song. I'll also have my latest release link down below, and I did a little DJ set the other day, so if you wanted to listen to that and party with me, it's very Aries coded, so that will be linked down below. And thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, anyone who appeared in this reading, their higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.